Hi everyone, Sin here from CreativeSynchronicity.com, and I'm back again with Crafty Hangouts. We are presenting ideas using OnlineLabels.com. You might recall that a few months ago we did some OnlineLabels.com products with party ideas, and this time we're going to be sharing some holiday gift ideas. So I don't know if you've ever been to OnlineLabels.com before or not, but the site has so many things to choose from, like seriously, so many ideas. And I have that I'll probably be sharing with you over the next few weeks. Today I'm going to share with you 3 ideas, because otherwise we could be here forever if I showed you everything. 3 quick and easy and, quite frankly, inexpensive ideas for holiday gifts. They would be really good for something like a gift or your kids' teachers or something like that. And all of the templates for the different labels that I'm going to be using will be up on my blog later on this week, so be on the lookout for that. And there will be a whole bunch of coming on from some of my crafty friends and lots more ideas. So you'll have tons and tons of ideas of things that you can do with these labels to make customized gifts for your friends and family. If you basically, if you can think of any kind of label that you want, I'm 99% sure that Online Labels has it. Colors, shapes, sizes, you name it. You just need to have a look because there's so many great ideas there. So the first idea I'm going to show you is for what I call snowman soup. So I've just taken, oh, I'm sorry, that's looking so, I hope it looks better on your screen than it does on mine. It's looking really washed. He really does have an orange carrot nose that I can't see it all on my screen. Oh, if I tilt him a bit, they're looking a little bit better. So I just started round sticker. Now I've made after the template for this in several different sizes because you may not want to use as big jar as I'm using here. So different sizes that you can be able to use for the different round stickers. And just made a simple face. Now let me tell you, I am not a graphic designer, okay? I can sketch some things and stuff like that, but doing that kind of stuff on a computer, no. I'm not talented at those kinds of things. So if you think you can't do this, like design your own, you can. I just use simple things like I go and find clip art. I go on PicMonkey. PicMonkey has all kinds of borders. They have the different fonts. They have all kinds of different little clip art pieces for you to use. In fact, that's where I created this from. Let me try taking it down again. There we go. This was just put together on PicMonkey. Is that on OnlineLabels.com, when you purchase the labels, then you'll be able to go in and use the templates. They have, I believe it's called Maestro, and so it's like their program that will open up the template on your computer and you can design right on there. Now, I've quite often just designed them straight on Microsoft Word, so there are, other options as well, but you've got all those things to choose from, and it's not difficult. If I can do it, you can do it. So this soup is a potato soup, okay? It's, a color that kind of helps with it being for the snowman soup. I will put the recipe on, but essentially, you're not going to believe this, the main ingredient is instant mashed potatoes, like mashed potato flakes, right? And then there's some powdered milk and seasonings and things like that in there. So it's really simple to mix up. And the thing is that it's a dry powdered mix. So it just requires hot water to make it into soup. And this was really great. I used to be a classroom teacher. And one of the things that was great about having this on hand was that on those days when I thought, oh, I think I'm going to go out and I'm going to go out for lunch today. And then I'd get to school and things would be crazy and there was no way I could leave. I had a jar of this sitting in my cupboard and I could just make up some soup. And at least I had a nice hot lunch to be able to have, kept a few, in a container in there as well. and I didn't have to worry about being without a lunch. So it makes it a really, really great gift, especially for teachers. For the little hat, it's just felt. And I was going to try and turn on my other, let me see if this is going to work. I've been having camera issues. Just trying to see if I can get to my other camera and show. Some of these downstairs. Feeling okay, there. The hat do is measure out a piece. I can't tell you because it'll depend on what size that you're using. So it's going to wrap around your lid. Just simply going to use some glue. I'm just using some tacky glue here and going down with the glue, and then I basically want to make a tube out of it. So I just and then I'm going to let that dry. Then I have this tube shape, and with a pair of scissors, and I'm just going to go and make some fringe. Thing until I've got some fringe. Then it very simply, okay, I didn't even glue it onto the lid. That way this jar is reusable. When the person is finished with the soup, use this jar over again. Just popped it on there. See that? I just popped it on there, fringe that I was cutting, and then right there we go. Right there, I just used a little, it's a little glittery chenille stem, but you could use yarn, you could use ribbon, whatever, to kind of form that hat shape. Really simple. You can make another label, which I'll also give you the template for. Put it right on the back of the jar to give the how to make the soup. Basically proportions of how much water, and that's that. And it's good to go as a gift. A gift. And this is one. Both of these I've been making for about 20 years now, over and over again for them. One, let me see if I can start with it being on the jar. So now I think I have a sheet of them right here that maybe you can see a little bit better. So it's candy cane bath salts. So again, this was just PicMonkey. I went in, I stuck a couple of the little candy cane clip arts on there, and used one of their fonts, candy cane bath salts on there, good to go. And I got these jars, actually marked down to $2. I have jars though at the dollar stores too. So Dollar or Dollar Tree, both of them have had really good jars that would as well. So I'm just, and then I need to fill it with my bath salts. So the bath salts are basically, and let me move to kind of see a little bit better. Basically Epsom salts. So it's a little bit, there we go. Okay. For my space. I also like to add some sea salt to mine. um, I just, it's supposed to be really to have in your bath, and I just think it feels nice on my skin. It feels refreshing. I add some sea salt. You don't have to. Just straight Epsom salts will work fine. Then you're going to, I usually will fill the jar, and I bang it so that I make sure that, you know, it's all filled in there. And then that gives me an idea of how much I need. About half of that into one jar, half of the other jar. I usually add a little bit, sure that I've got enough. I mix that up with some peppermint scented essential oil. Tiny bit, you just want, you know, the tiniest little bit, a drop, you know, mix it up. I find sometimes it's good to walk away for a bit and then come back and smell it and see how strong it is at that point. You might even want to only scent part of it, maybe put the scent in the white part but not put it into your colored part, just because then, you know, that's not quite as strong if you're finding it's a little. Those are a couple of hints that I found over the years. You carefully with the scent because you don't want it to be overpowering. You want it to be a soothing peppermint scent. Then in this one, I've added some coloring. So you can use food coloring. I've never had the food coloring, like people worry that it's skin or something like that. Food coloring was the first stuff I used in this, and nobody ever had an issue with it or coming off on their skin. But if you're concerned, they also make coloring for like bath products. So you can go to a craft, you can get coloring for putting into soaps and cream, bubble bath and all that kind of stuff. So that's another option for you, and you just simply mix in as much as you want. It doesn't always turn like a brilliant red like you would find for candy cane, but you can usually get the idea. You know, even a dark pink is going to give you the idea. Then you're just going to layer it. So I'm just going to scoop some in of the white, and then I'm going to scoop some in of the red. And you can like tilt as you're scooping in if you want, or you can just, it doesn't matter. This is just kind of like making that sand art. Remember years ago when that was all the rage, that layered sand art stuff. And again, just kind of shaking it around a bit. Add a little more white. Because you've added food coloring to this one, obviously it's going to get a bit damp, because any of the food coloring, whether it's the paste kind, whatever you're using, it's going to miss a bit. You don't want to go crazy with adding too much, obviously, and making it so can be a bit damp. So usually what I do is and then I lay it out on like a baking sheet. I'll put a baking sheet down and I'll spread paper towels on it, and then I'll lay this out a bit before I actually put it into. So I can, let's see if the camera's going to cooperate and move back up to this other camera so I can show you this finished product a little bit better. There you go. Stripes in it, so it has kind of that candy. It's going to smell like peppermint. And then the finish for me is usually I tie some ribbon around here, and then I usually actual candy canes to it, which I can't find any stores with candy canes in them. Now I realize it's only October, but there's Christmas decorations everywhere. There's other Christmas candies in some of the stores. but no candy canes. I found that really odd. So anyway, let me try again. Let's try this trick of tilting. See if maybe you can read. I don't know. There might just be that label to be able to get it at the right angle. Maybe if I tilt it. Oh, that's even worse. Well, you'll just in my blog posts, but trust me, they are adorable. They just are candy cane themed and go perfectly with. Another idea for the bath salts, by the way, is if you can find, sometimes at some craft stores they will have like the little tiny wooden scoops, and attaching one of those so that they've got a little scoop to put it into the bath with is always great too. Okay, and then the final idea that I've got is for liquid hand soap. Now, again, great gift for anybody that you need to give a little gift to. Perfect gift for a teacher, especially if they have a sink in their classroom. Always need liquid hand soap, always need it. But I've come up with kind of another idea to kind of extend the gift beyond just a little bottle of the liquid hand soap. So I found these fantastic bottles. Now, I've seen the soap dispenser bottles at the dollar stores again, so you can buy them really cheaply. But they have these, which feel, you know, they're really, really pretty. I mean, they're a little bit higher end, I guess. And they were only $2. They were marked down at Target. So I picked those up while I was finding those jars as well. So they're really soft finish on them, and they're really ideal for what we're going to be going for. So for this one, let me just show you. At onlinelabels.com, and you probably can't tell except by these empty spaces here, that these are Christmas tree shaped labels. So I ordered them in green, obviously. I got them in green so that they were, and I figure these are going to be useful for tons of things. I mean, just even labels on gifts, these, and you can personalize them. And there's all kinds of little things that you can do because they already kind of, right? Because you've already got that. But what I did was I printed out one that says Happy Holidays on it, and you probably are not going to be able to read that, but trust me, it does. And again, I'll put up the template for that. And I put that on, and then I have some additional ones that are just. So one of the ideas I had was, again, if this was going to be, say, a gift for your child teacher, you could, you know, again, personalize it with their name. If you know they have a sink in their classroom, you could put Mrs. Smith like that on it. And the other option is on the plain ones that I added onto it, you could get your kids to decorate, you know, before you put it on the still on the sheet, you could have or something like that and add decoration onto the tree. You could even probably after you put the labels on the bottle, and you could have them sequins or some little bits of bling or something like that, those decorations to it. I think it's the way it is, and again, there will be pictures of it on my blog so that you can see it more clearly than you might be because of the shininess of it on the video. I think it's quite pretty just the way it is. But, you know, if you want to get the kids involved and get them decorating the things and personalizing them, that's another way. Here's another idea I had, though, for this. The thing is, I did this out, and these labels, they actually, I mean, you can get from onlinelabels.com, you can get labels that they call their easy remove ones. I did not order those. I ordered plain old ordinary labels, but you can get ones that come off really quickly and easily. On this bottle, because of the finish of it, I guess they just peel off quite nicely. So I took this one off, and see, it doesn't leave, and even on the jars that I've used, there might be a couple little bits of residue, you know, like little tiny bits of, but they come off quite easily. So about this is that they can use it for Christmas time, but then if they don't want to save it they can just peel the labels off and they can use it as just a plain dispenser. So it's still, you know, you're not giving them something that they just have to store away for once per year. But the other, that you could put together a folder and you could print off some of the sheets of stickers and you could make them, you know, heart stickers for Valentine's Day. You could make them, you could use the snowman faces. That could be for January maybe. You could give them, so you could give them stickers single month or, you know, each major holiday throughout the year and put it into a folder and give it along with this. And know that when Christmas time, can peel these stickers off and they can just put on the new ones and they can customize it for every holiday throughout the year and have it very seasonal. So I thought that would be another fun way of extending the gift and making it, you know, a little more special, a little more personal. So those are my 3 ideas. Just to let you know, the soap to go in it, I do have a recipe for making homemade soap, so that'll be on the blog post. But there's also, I mean, they sent refills. So if you're not up for making the soap, you know, I found these ones in these. They also have jugs of them. So if you were making up a bunch of them, you could easily go buy a big jug of it and you could. Pieces of advice to you is start getting ready now for these gifts. I always make a list of the people I need to give a gift to, you know, maybe the neighbors, the friends, the kids' teachers, all of that. And then let's say I've got 10 people on that list. I, you know, maybe bring it up to an even dozen, and then I'll schedule an afternoon, Saturday or Sunday afternoon, and I sit down and I bang out a whole bunch of these. So, you know, I buy the jug of dish soap and of hand soap, and I get a bunch of, you know, different hand soap dispensers and I do them all at once, and I do up a big batch of the bath salts and that kind of thing, because that way you're good to go. Nothing worse than those times when, you know, your child comes home from school and says they need a gift for somebody for the following day, or you get invited to kind of an impromptu party and now you want to have a hostess gift to take with you or something like that. Those things always happen, at least in my world, they always happen during the holiday seasons. So by getting yourself prepared and getting some of these things out of the way soon, maybe at least in November, putting them away on a shelf in a closet or something like that, you'll be all set for when those occasions come up. So thanks for joining me, and be looking on my blog, creativesynchronicity.com, for all of the instructions, the recipes, and the templates for this. Bye, everybody.